All right. Let's see. Is I don't know if anybody's able to hear me here. So I decided to do a live stream for the last, I want to say maybe what, 2 or 3 days now. This dude, Jill's been going back and forth in the comment section. So I was telling them, man, instead of, doing 50 comments back and forth, getting nowhere with a discussion, why don't you just call into the next live stream and, we can actually have a conversation? You know what I'm saying? I didn't only extend the invite to that individual. There's probably like 15 other people out there who, for some reason, like to go back and forth in the comment section, over various different subjects or topics, which, is nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, it's much more beneficial if we have these live conversations about these topics of disagreement or contention instead of writing 100 messages back and forth throughout 2 days in the comment board. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just more beneficial to do that. So I did invite Mr. Jill to come up here for a half an hour up towards an hour, depending on his behavior, of course. Right, so depending on how he acts, I will allow him to come up here for a half an hour, upwards to an hour, to discuss the controversial topic, which is really hot in Israel right now. It's not only on this channel, but really this is like all over the internet right now. This is the hot topic. Is Christ God? Is he the Son of God? Is he? What is Christ? Right? Like, what is Christ? Right? Is he God? Is he not God? Is he the Son of God? Is he like an angel or something? Or did he even exist? Right? That's another hot topic. Because believe it or not, there are Israelite camps out there who teach that Christ didn't even exist. Right? They're called Old Testament only Israelites. Right? They're called Old Testament only Israelites. That means they believe in what is it, the 50 books that are in the Old Testament, but then they reject the 24, what is it, 24 books of the New Testament. That's what they reject. Which, of course, we here view that belief as being completely incorrect. I mean, you can't teach the Bible and remove Christ out of it. You can't do that. You can't teach half of the book and then say the other half is lies. Like, say, for instance, like we've had a couple individuals come up here and try to say that Apostle Paul's like, oh, he's like the Antichrist, or, he's just, a false prophet, or, all these other nonsense they make up about Paul. But the truth is, you can't understand the New Testament if you throw Paul's writings out the window, because Apostle Paul wrote like what, 40% of the New Testament. So how the hell are you going to be able to understand the New Testament if you claim that the man who wrote nearly half of it is like, all corrupt and, can't trust them? It's like, okay, well, at that point, from your perspective, you shouldn't believe in any of it then. If you believe that like half of it is corrupted and, not trustworthy, then you shouldn't believe in any of it then. Again, it's really just shocking and bizarre to me how certain people, how they think. Just really bizarre to me the way that some people think out here, man. Bear with me for a second. Okay. I'm just checking something backstage here. Now I'll tell you, it's it isn't easy being able just to do these streams by having a phone. Other dudes out there got entire damn, setups to do streams at, or, whole damn computer, monitor stands and, shit like that. I'm over here doing my stuff from literally just one damn phone. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes it isn't easy to be able to, do all these things from literally one device. But fortunately, StreamYard makes it work, which, of course, the best thing is with StreamYard is as long as you're using the free version, you don't have to pay for it, right? You don't got to pay for a StreamYard, and they give you 20 hours a month for free. And if you want anything beyond the 20 hours, then you got to pay them. What it's up to like what $45 a month now, which is stupid. I mean, they should have the option between like a $20 version, which is what it used to be a couple years ago, and for people who have money, like say maybe a family of channels, like because if you pay for the StreamYard, you can live stream to multiple different channels at a time, right? So like say, just for an example, if there were four guys who decided to split the bill four ways, they'd be able to, stream to all four of their channels at the same time by just splitting the bill for a StreamYard each month. I mean, me personally, I don't need to pay for it. I'm good with just using the free version, for what I need. It does the job. I mean, sure, there's some inconveniences along with it, but for what I need it for, it does the job without much of a problem. But there are certain perks that come along with paying for StreamYard. Like, say, for instance, you can have 10 people on stage at one time. You can add your own overlays to the screen. You can add your icon in the top right corner. You can, of course, unlimited streaming hours, and a lot of other perks you get along with it. But is it really worth the damn, $50 a month, though? I don't think so. So I will sit here and wait for Mr. Jill, which, he should be showing up here soon because, this guy has been, this guy has been pissing me off by the amount of comments this knucklehead puts up in the comment board here. So hopefully he's able to stop by, but if not, then we'll do the discussion another time. But he has a chance here, though. Now, I wasn't really going to do much of a recap of the discussion from the other day because he's not here, and I wanted to clarify to him. But the discussion that he had the other day was up here for like 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Having a conversation with Jay and Judah, and personally, I don't think it was a really good conversation. Like, say for instance, I only got to speak for like maybe what 15 minutes. I was mostly just sitting back listening to the interaction between the three of them. But then every once in a while, I just throw in and ask, well, what's your thoughts on this verse? What's your thought on the other verse? And I think 90% of the verses I brought up got brushed under the rug and, didn't really get addressed. So I wanted to be fair and give Mr. Jill a chance to address those things today. Because I don't think it was really much of a debate between Jill and myself. He of course, in the comments, he tried to make it look like, oh, well, you didn't have the answers, ETT, or, was a debate. I'm thinking to myself, it's like, knucklehead, you do realize that you were up here for 4.5 hours and me and you only talked for like 15 minutes, spread out across 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not a conversation between you and me, right? Like we talked for like maybe what 2 minutes, in multiple different sections throughout 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it was more so a discussion, not necessarily a debate between Jill and myself. I will classify it more so of a debate between Jill, Jay, and Lion of Judah. That's really who the debate was against. I was just there mostly listening in for most of the conversation. At least that's how I'm viewing it. And and I'm left confused because, say, for instance, Jill will talk out of both sides of his mouth. It's not only Jill, but every Trinitarian, it seems like. Say, for instance, Jill will sit there and say, "Well, I'm not saying that Jesus is the Father." It's like, but hold up a second. Well, weren't you just up here for 4 hours trying to argue with Lion of Judah, trying to get him to acknowledge that Christ is the Most High God? Like, literally, weren't you just up here the other day for 4 hours trying to argue with Lion of Judah to try to get him to admit that Christ was the Most High God? But then you're going to turn around and say, well, no, I don't believe that Jesus is God. It's like, bro, you have to make up your mind. Is Christ God or is he not? Is he the Most High or is he not? Again, it's very confusing. It's very difficult to be able to reason with a person like this, right? You got to go back to elementary school basics. Like, say, for instance, is a square and a triangle the same thing? No, obviously, a square and a triangle are not the same thing. Now, perhaps they might both be made of wood or plastic. It might have the same color to it, but the actual shape of it is not the same. So, as far as Christ and God, we'd say that Christ is the we'd say that he is the Son of God, right? He's special, but he's not God himself. Yeah, I see you down there, Jay, that you're first. Yeah, you are first to leave a comment. How are you doing, my friend? But yeah, we don't hold the view that Christ is the supreme God. Now, as far as the word God, well, here's where you might have a misconception because, everybody will sit there and say, oh, if you see a verse that calls Jesus God, we'll see that ends the debate. But not really, because the word God has context to it. Did you know that in Exodus chapter 7, verse 1, God told Moses that he would make him a God unto Pharaoh? That doesn't mean that Moses is the Most High God, right? It just means that there's clearly a context to it. Or I'll give you a bonus example. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, it says the God of this world has blinded the minds of them who don't believe. Every Christian would agree the God of this world is Satan. So that's not saying that Satan is the Most High God just because he gets called God. So, say, for instance, if I say that Christ is God, I don't mean that he's the Most High. I don't mean that he's the Father. But we acknowledge him as a supreme being. But that doesn't mean that he's the Father, though. But the Christian view is they want you to say, well, is Christ God? And if you say Christ is God, since they don't have an understanding about what the word God means, they'll automatically think that that means that like he's the only God, that he's like the supreme God. And again, I'm left confused once again with Jill's ridiculous reasoning. Say, for instance, Jill will sit there for an hour and try to argue that Christ is the God of the Old Testament. We'll sit there and say, well, yeah, he's the God of the Old Testament. It's like, okay, well, isn't the God of the Old Testament also called the Heavenly Father? So how can you tell me that I'm somehow misrepresenting your stance if I tell people that Jill's position is that Christ is the Father? You're telling me, oh, well, he ain't the Father. It's like, but wait, but didn't you say that Christ is the Old Testament God? But the Old Testament God is the Father, though. Say, for another example, in the book of Daniel, the Old Testament God is called the Ancient of Days or the Almighty. Those are just different phrases and terms that people call the God of the Old Testament. You know what is also another phrase or term used? The Heavenly Father. Say, for instance, they use that in Matthew, the 6th chapter, with the Father's Prayer, but it's still talking about the God of the Old Testament. So it shows that God, right, the true supreme God, he can go by different titles, right? People can give him a different title, as we see in these examples in the Bible. I'll give you another example. If you read the Apocrypha, Ezra calls God the Almighty God or Almighty Lord. Look it up. So there's another example of another title that people are giving God. So again, Gilles seems to be in contradiction with himself. He'll say, no, well, Christ isn't the Father, but yeah, he is the God of the Old Testament. It's like, okay, but the God of the Old Testament is the Father, though. You know, and then they'll just try to backtrack and say, well, you know, you just don't know the Trinity. You just don't understand the Trinity. I think I understand the Trinity, but the Trinity is fake, though, right? The Trinity is not told in the Bible. Bible clearly teaches that the Father and his Son are two separate beings. And there's plenty of examples that one could go to support that claim. Jay said he's watching from a walk-in refrigerator. Man, that boy must be at work or something. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Let me see something. Yeah, I mean, I think it's undeniable to deny that there's so many points in the Bible where Christ clearly states that his Father is greater than him. Like, say, for example, I brought this one up, and I think Jill completely swerved to the side to avoid it, and that would be John 14:28. Christ said, my Father is greater than I am. Now, hold up a second. If Christ is the supreme God, well, how is the Father greater than Christ if they're all the same, right? Because the Trinity, from his perverted perspective, and by the way, he's like, oh, you don't understand the Trinity. It's like, okay, so what I did is I went out of my way and I watched 4 videos today of Christians explaining the Trinity. And then I also, during a break time, right, when I was out for a walk, I decided to look up on Wikipedia what the Trinity means. I looked up Trinity and asked for, you know, a breakdown as to what it is. And it basically saying, you know, it's the view that, you know, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, right? They're 3 separate entities, but all at the same time, they all are God, right? So the Son is God, the Holy Spirit's God, and God's both of them at the same time, but in like different form. Again, it's very confusing, right? It's very confusing. It's like, well, how can God be all 3 at the same time, but still be separate? Like, say, for instance, Christ said that he didn't know something. So how could he be the almighty, all-knowing God if Christ said that he doesn't know something? Mark 13:32. It says, of that day and that hour knows no man, no, not the angels in heaven, neither the Son, but only the Father. I do want to say, do please excuse the background noise if you hear that behind me. It is a populated area where I am at. So I can't really do anything about the background noise. So I do apologize in advance. Hey, how are you doing, Alfred? Glad to see you here. Jay said Joe had a Freudian slip during the conversation. He got tied up and admitted that Christ wasn't God towards the end. Freudian slip. I figured of that ERB between what was it, Mother Teresa and Sigmund Freud. Look that up. Look that up. You'll get what I'm laughing at. Freudian slip. But yeah, let me read it again. Jill said, or excuse me, Jay said, shit, both of their names are similar now. Jill had a Freudian slip during the conversation. He got tied up and admitted that Christ wasn't God towards the end. Again, it's very confusing. It's like, Jill, you need to make up your mind, man. You can't sit there and claim that Christ is on one hand God, but on the other hand, he's not. And the thing that confused me, it's like, listening back to the conversation, which to be fair, I did not listen to back to the entire 4 hours, but I was literally there for 60% of the conversation, right? Um, but listening to the conversation from the very start, Joel was trying to get Lion of Judah to admit that Christ is the true God. But somehow he'll sit there and say that I'm mistaken, that somehow he's not saying that Christ is the Father. It's like, but dude, if you're telling somebody that Christ is the supreme God, you're literally saying that he's the Father then. Because the supreme God is just another title for the Father. I gave all the examples in the Bible that it uses. In fact, I might have even forgot one or two of them off the top of the head. But I gave you the example, like say, for instance, in Daniel, it calls God the Ancient of Days. So the question I have for Jill is God, or I mean, is Christ the Ancient of Days? If you say yes, well, then you're saying that he's the Father then. Because the Ancient of Days is just another wording that people call the Father. So again, guys that hold this Trinity view are just in contradiction of themselves and are unclear in their head as to what they believe. Going back to the shape analogy, basically they're saying that God is, at one time, he's, a circle, a square, and a triangle, right? The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, right? They're all one at the same time, but they're all separate as well. It's like, no, man, that doesn't make sense. Right, that's a good point. Going off of what I brought up in Mark 13:32, I'll quote it again. Christ said in red letter, "Of that day and that hour knows no man, no, not the angels that are in heaven, neither the Son, but only the Father." So how the hell does Christ not know if he's fully God and just in human form? Like, doesn't that show that he isn't the Almighty because he doesn't know something? But he said the Father knows. So isn't he literally putting a difference between himself and the Father? If he said that the Father knows, but he doesn't know, how could you sit there and say that they're both the same if Christ just said that his Father knows, but he doesn't know? And these guys are just, brush that to the side like it don't matter. Jay said, Trinitarians say Christ, Holy Spirit, Father are all God and share same mind, but there's instances where Christ said he doesn't know things that God knows. Right, like I know there's a verse in the Old Testament where God says he declares from the end from the beginning, right? God knows all things. So how Christ not know when the return would be, right, in the end times? He literally said he don't know. So that's something he admits that he doesn't know. So how could he be the all-knowing God if he admits that he doesn't know something? Again, it's hypocrisy. It's just hypocrisy in these guys. They were just brought up believing these things, so they go on a YouTube and continue to push a lie. And don't get me mistaken, I used to be taught the same thing back when I was in Christianity. I remember back in the Catholic school and the SDA church that I used to go to, they taught the Trinity, so I understood that and believed the same thing. But then when I read the Bible for myself and listened to the true men of the Lord, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone, I found out that that was just a misunderstanding, right? Once I opened the Bible and read it for myself, I found out that the Father and the Son can't be the same being because there's so many instances where Christ puts a difference between himself and the Father. Another point I wanted to bring up to Mr. Gill that I don't believe he addressed in the discussion yesterday is Matthew chapter 3, verse 16 and 17, right? When John the Baptist was baptizing Christ, it says that there was a bright light that shined down from heaven unto Christ. And a voice spoke and said, "This is my beloved Son. With him I am well pleased." So hold up a second. So is that Christ talking about himself there? Is that God talking about himself? I mean, clearly there is a separation between the two of them. And Jay brought up a really good point. He brought up in the discussion, what was that? John 17, verse 3, where Christ says, I'm nearly paraphrased off the top of the head, but Christ said that you are the only true God. Right? Christ told his Father that he is the only true God. So how could there be multiple only true gods? How can there be, say, four supreme gods? Isn't there just one supreme God that's above all the other lesser gods? Like, say, for instance, the Bible says in Psalms 82, verse 6, that men are gods. Does that mean that we're on God's level? Of course not, because clearly there is context to what these words mean. Like, say, for an example, if you read the Genesis story, it says that God made men to be gods over the earth. The animals at one point back in the beginning, they obeyed what mankind said. Even today, we can subdue any creature and put them in an aquarium or in a zoo. Well, mostly any creature, that is. But, you know, the animals aren't doing that to us. Why is that? Because we were made over them, right? We are superior to them. So clearly when the word God is used, there's context to it, and that's something that a Christian doesn't really want to acknowledge, that words clearly have context to them. Man, I'm wondering where Mr. Jill is. I literally told the dude uh 4 times earlier today in the comment section, like, bro, I'll be live tonight, roughly like, 11:30, 12 o'clock, New York time. Maybe the knucklehead fell asleep. I don't know, but we'll wait for him. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, that's a good point. Said science says we are animals. It's completely backwards. Yeah, good point. Guys sitting there talking about that humans evolved from, apes and shit. But how is it all of these supposed remains that they put on display around the world? It turns out, years later, after they're no longer being paraded around as missing links or transitional fossils, the creators 90% of the time come out and admit that they're forgeries just for attention. Like, seriously, look it up. Matter of fact, Eric Dubé's book, The Flat Earth Conspiracy, has an entire chapter of the book that is dedicated towards the myth of evolution. I recommend picking that book up. Don't believe everything that's in it. Take it with a grain of salt, but there's a lot of decent information that's in it. Eric's one of those guys you got to take with a grain of salt. Like, I saw he put up a video, I want to say maybe 2 days ago, entitled "They all, nuclear weapons are fake." It's like, what the hell you mean that they're fake, man? So like, what do you think that these militaries around the world are spending, trillions of dollars on? Like, I mean, seriously, like what are these trillions of dollars that are being spent on military defense budgets? Like, what are these, um, hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars being spent on? You know what I'm saying? It's just doesn't make any damn sense. Here, bear with me for a second. Yo, Judah, you there?
Yeah, no, I can hear you now. Yeah,
All right, cool. What's up?
yeah. Nothing about the Holy Trinity thing. I was saying on my other on my YouTube channel is that basically when they said the Holy Trinity is basically the Father is the Creator and the Creator the is the Spirit. Basically, what it's basically saying is so you know how Christ said my only real family are the ones that keep my commandments. Well, the he's talking about the Holy. He's basically talking about the Holy Spirit, like how the Father, Son, and the Spirit is all connected to each other spiritually. He wasn't talking about physically. So even like for him to say, "Oh, well, yeah, you know, the God and Son are the same people," but they're not the same people. He's even getting confused on his own doctrine.
Right. Like Judah, you know what I find weird and funny is listening to the discussion between you and him. I'm thinking to myself, like, hold on, isn't this whole time, isn't he trying to get Lion of Judah to admit that Christ is God, right? Is the Almighty? So how's he going to say on the other hand that he's not saying that Christ is the supreme God or God the Father? You know, it's such a hypocritical backwards position that he has. It's just stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times Satan will try to go through other people to tempt you and to get you because all Satan can do is find you guilty. So Satan go through other people to try to find you guilty,
Right. I hear
if
you.
you know what I mean. Yeah.
Right. Let me just check the comments real quick. Um, Someone asked, "Hey, ETT, is LOP doing better? Heard he was sick or something." I don't know nothing about it. Jay said down here, LOP had a colon surgery, but he's doing good. We're glad that he's doing good, but I'm not active on Discord. I have it in a box somewhere. I can't get to my second phone right at the moment, so I haven't been on Discord in probably a month. But I got to log on soon and see what's going on there. But uh, but yeah, it's good that LOP is doing okay. Jay said Eric Dubay, he also did a documentary on how dinosaurs are fake. I say that's one of his least good speeches. Yeah, that's one of the things that Eric is clearly wrong about. That he's wrong about the dinosaurs were all faked and staged or whatever, and about nuclear weapons don't exist. That's something he's clearly incorrect on as well. But as I said, you know, take guys with a grain of salt. Don't just believe everything that somebody says.
Do you also believe that dinosaurs are fake too? Because I don't know if you know about GOCC, but you know Elder Ricard from GOCC.
Yeah.
He teaches that dinosaurs were real because they were made by fallen angels, which is way off though.
Yeah, that's off. Like I actually heard about that back when I was in the SDA church. Like say for instance, they had a hardcore Christian there that I was talking to this one time, and you know, she's like, "Oh, well, UFOs and dinosaurs, they were all made by, fallen angels." And think to myself, it's like, that's clearly not true, right? Clearly, it's not true. These dinosaurs are clearly mentioned in the Bible, so they did exist. They did walk the earth. It's just they lived much more recently than what modern science claims. Like, say for instance, they found a T Rex skeleton that still had soft fibers on it. Anybody can look that up. It's called the B Rex. It's either the B Rex or the D Rex. Look that up, and you
A
can
T
learn
Rex.
about that. Yeah, they found the skeletal remains of the T Rex. They had soft fiber tissue still within the bone, so it shows
I
that
really
it
don't think
couldn't have
dinosaurs
been there.
existed though.
I mean, that'll be a discussion for another time, but they are in the
Yeah.
scriptures, like say for instance, Job 40, Job 41. Those creatures are clearly dinosaurs there. But
Uh,
that'll be a discussion for another time. I'd recommend you look into that. But let me ask you though, on that, since our guest for tonight isn't here, of course. So, if you had to name, like, say, two examples that makes you not believe that dinosaurs once walked the earth. Like, what would be two examples that you'd give that would, make you hold that?
First of all, there's if there's dinosaurs on Earth before humans, shouldn't there be millions of dinosaurs? And if there were millions of dinosaurs like that, we should like if we dig up buildings for construction, or if we dig up plumbing systems with boring tunnels, I mean with boring machines, shouldn't we be able to find the fossils everywhere though? If we did, because everybody dig deep holes every day, and we don't find any dinosaur bones. On top of that, they got some bullshit called dinosaur fossil fuel. Where if okay, if we made fossil fuel out of dinosaurs and woolly mammoths, wouldn't you run out of fossils? Since there were only a certain amount of dinosaurs on Earth, then where would you find all these dinosaur bones to make fossil fuel out of? Anyways, it's kind of BS though. I like the whole
Well, one
dinosaur
thing I
because
could well, one thing I could agree on is the fossil fuels perhaps is being taken from another source instead of dinosaur bones. But the creatures themselves, I'd say they did exist. They just were not they like let's say this, they did not live millions of years ago. They likely died out within the last couple thousand years over time. Like say for instance, even today in our advanced world, we have thousands of species that are on the verge of extinction due to being hunted or just being in low numbers over time. The population dwindles down to near zero. So these dinosaurs over the course of time, they were in low number. Tribesmen hunted these creatures. Are literally cave drawings and pottery around the world depicting ancient man interacting with these creatures or, attacking these creatures. Recommend you look up the A. Cambero figurines and the Inca stones. And there's even a temple in Cambodia that shows a Stegosaurus dinosaur that's from like 800 to 1,000 years ago. They say that was carved in Jerusalem. There was a stone that shows a T Rex on it. Recommend checking that up. You could probably find it on Google. Um, a lot of other examples. It's really a fascinating take. So our position over here is we teach that dinosaurs did roam the earth, but they lived on the earth at the same time as humans lived. But over the course of time, they got hunted out of existence and were just extinct by a vast majority. So that's our view over here as far as the dinosaurs.
yeah. Well, the physical appearance of dinosaurs too, like the T Rex shouldn't be able to stand on two legs. It should fall over because you got the small arms and you got like the two legs at the far end at the back. I really don't believe dinosaurs exist, but that'll be for another
Well,
topic. Because
it's tail. Let me ask you a question. What about giraffes? Don't you think they should fall over because of that long neck they have and that very short tail?
yeah, but they like kind of balance different because they don't like on 2 feet.
But that's what I was gonna bring up is the T-Rex, they have that long tail and that short neck and short arms, so it kinda, like, balances the body out.
Yeah, but about a while back ago, because I actually seen like an actual video, like where it was basically saying that like the dinosaurs were made by Freemasons. Because somebody actually, it was a Freemason who like discovered the dinosaur. I probably have to send you the link to the video, but it's a YouTuber called Terror Times. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I'm sure I've probably seen the video. Let me say this, as far as the bones, I'd say these bones were discovered all throughout history. It's just people called these creatures different things. The word dinosaur was invented in like the 1840s. So before the 1840s, these creatures, these bones that people found, they didn't know what they were. They might have called them dragons or, maybe big reptiles or, hell, who knows what they might have came up
Yeah,
with. But the term dinosaur didn't come around until the 1840s. So that's
because
why like
dragons
say for
are.
instance, you can't see the word dinosaur in the Bible because the word dinosaur didn't exist back then. You might see the word dragon used sometimes, and perhaps in some instances, the word dragon could be referring to these creatures that we today call dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like the dragons. Now, some people are stupid enough to say like nuclear bombs don't exist, which that's really stupid to say that. These
Right.
some of these truthers, because even I
Yeah,
heard
it's
some Christians
stupid.
even said it too.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I was just talking about that a couple minutes ago that I saw one of this dude, Eric Dubay, put up a video like 2 days ago saying that the um that the nuclear weapons don't exist. It's just completely stupid. Even that dude David Weiss says that too, among a lot of these other knuckleheads on the internet. But this is why I say, you got to take everybody with a grain of salt. Not everybody is totally correct with what they're saying. You'll have some people who are right on some topics they teach, but then they'll be wrong on other topics that they teach. Just out of
Yeah,
curiosity,
because I remember you just said,
I saw you did a video the other day. You're saying that you wanted to join GMS Chicago or something like that.
yeah, if anybody would reach out.
All right, I hear you, but I do want to let you know with that, if you do join that organization, you're going to have to teach the globe spinning Earth if you join that organization, because that's what the camp doctrine is. You're aware of that?
Yeah,
Okay. So do you now believe in the globe, or like what's your position? Because if you do join GMS Chicago, you have to teach that. Because let me tell you something. I literally know guys who got kicked out of GMS because they taught that the Earth was flat. So that's a serious
yeah.
thing in that organization. So if you do join that, I'm just letting you know that you have to go and teach that, because that's official camp doctrine.
Yeah, that's why I do want to go ask one of the elders uh, go ask one of the elders about the flat Earth doctrine. Because I do still got a few questions too. Because first, the first question is I wanted to know about the flat Earth doctrine because that seems kind of interesting. I'm in between if the Earth is flat or round, but I actually do believe it's flat. But then second, I wanted to go ask GMS about the I did want to ask them about if they believe that Elder Tahar is Paul reincarnated, if they actually do believe that. I don't know if you
As
believe that
far as I'm
or not.
aware, well, let me share a little bit of what I know, since I've been following listening to them for like 10 years. As far as I'm aware, they say it's a possibility, but they don't teach it as like an official doctrine. They're saying Tahar, he could be Paul, but they're not going to come out and directly state that they know for a fact that he is, but it's a possibility. As far as I know, that's the position that they hold.
Yeah. Because even GOCC, I talked to Elder Ricard one time. He said don't follow GMS because they believe Paul is reincarnated. Then yeah, because yeah, that's what GOCC was saying. But he because I don't know if they actually, because Elder Tar never said that he was Paul reincarnated like that. Now he assumed that other people in his campus, like King David, reincarnated too. Somebody in GMS.
Yeah, as far as I know about it, they say that some, like this guy here, that guy there, they could be this person or that person, but they don't necessarily know for sure. Because, like, say for instance, it says in Ecclesiastes, I believe that's 111, it says that the former things are not remembered. So, say for a hypothetical example, like, say if somebody said, "Oh, well, ETT might have been Ezra in his past life." It's like, okay, but nobody would know that, because our past life, we can't remember our past. That's hidden from us. So we could speculate as to, what person this guy over here is, but nobody would truly ever know that. That's just not something we could ever know for sure.
Now I got a question. Do you believe like you are who your forefather is? As far as like Jacob and Esau.
Well, clarify what you mean by that.
So basically, like if let's say if I found out let's say, all right, let's say if you have a white guy but he traces lineage like his fourth father, or like his, I don't know, his father in the 1800s was a slave, then they got his bloodline whited out, but his fathers came from he traced his fathers back to to a Negro, Latino, Native American. Is he considered an
Right.
Israelite? Would you consider him an
Yeah.
Israelite?
Yeah, if on the father's side of the family they go back to descending from an Israelite, then they would be Israelite. So I would agree if GMS and most Israelite camps on that the lineage goes down by the father's side of the family, not the mother.
Oh, now do you believe that Christ's kingdom is like communism? Because I actually said like compare Christ's kingdom to like a righteous communism, where like the righteous people will be so not everybody be equal to each other, but it's like how he will force like he'll like rule over the nations with a rod of iron. I kind of like view that as like a righteous communism, like
I
Christ is
mean,
communist.
I guess you could call it that. I mean, I personally wouldn't use the term because these terms are like were made within the last 100 or 200 years. So the Bible wouldn't really use the term. But if you want to use that, you're welcome to use that. But I personally wouldn't use those. I would just say that he's going to have the nations pay tribute unto Israel, but this is being done as a punishment because Israel was subject to them on this side. So as a payback, they're going to
Yeah.
have to be subject to Israel. So in other words, it's kind of like a karma, right? You do something bad to someone else, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass later on. So that's what's basically happening to these other nations because we had to serve. Now they're going to serve.
Now, would you say like communism could be used for righteousness, like how basically capitalism and capitalistic this current society we live in is unfair? Because like how like you said before, like a lawyer gets paid looking at papers. Meanwhile, like people like us who have to work hard at a minimum wage get treated like shit by people at the top, and we get low paid for doing more work. Like how communism basically says, far as work wise, everybody's equal, so really, like you have to like share as a community.
I
Like you
mean,
just have like a community.
it's an interesting view. But as far as the biblical standards, like say for instance, as far as the kingdom of heaven, there's always going to be people on the bottom and people that are in the middle, and then people on top. Right? You're going to have Christ, which is going to be at the top. You'll have the righteous elect, 144,000, which will be kings and governors, and then underneath them you'll have servants, and I imagine underneath the let me say this is the servants in this context are the other nations, but above them you'll have regular citizens who live in these cities that are being ruled by righteous Israelites. So there will certainly be an order to it, right? The servant's going to be under the regular Israelite, but the regular Israelite, they're going to be under the kings and rulers, which are the 144,000, and then they'll be under Christ. So there's like a righteous hierarchy involved in the ranking. At least that's how I view it.
Oh, so it's yeah, because yeah, now it's like being a communist like a salvation issue. Because I guess like I lean towards the communist side. Like I view like the second communist like a righteous communistic takeover.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's wicked to say that. I mean, it seems like a better system of governance compared to the trash that we're living in right now. But I'd say, every system of government will most likely have its flaws to one degree or another, but it sounds better than the trash that we're living in here in America in 2025.
Yeah, this system really is trash. You know, like you have some people say, "Oh,
Yo,
America's a
like
free
Lion of
country."
Judah, did you catch that conversation I did with that knucklehead? I believe his name was Sleep Easy or something like that, or Too Cheesy.
Oh no.
That knucklehead that called in before Jill the other day.
Oh no, I actually called in when once
Oh boy.
Jill got in.
Oh man, let me tell you, son. This knucklehead, he claims to be a Christian. Let me just spill this all out before you comment. He's a Bible believing Christian. He doesn't believe we're living in the end times. He believes it's a sin to tell people we're living in the end times, that they should be looking out for Christ to come back. He believes that America is totally just and fair, that we shouldn't be complaining about working for 9.50 an hour. The billionaires, they are
Oh
not
damn.
stealing from us. And he represents Jesus in his own words. What's your thoughts on that knucklehead too cheesy?
Well, I gotta say, what's the too easy guy? I don't know what I forgot what he's called. I think too easy or whatever the hell he's called. I think this guy is I would say he be beyond delusional. This guy must be smoking something or like on some sort of meth or narcotics or smoke some kind of dope. to be believing that we live in a fair, righteous kingdom or country. Because if this was a fair country, then where did those trillions of dollars go to? Which we could use those trillions of dollars to go help out homelessness and go help out the poor people and go tend to our own citizens. But instead, we dump trillions of dollars into wars. Then this same system goes like a harlot, goes sell her own people out just to some rich people. Why do you think?
Right, right.
Why does
Let me
Israel
add on that
get
statement. Yeah, let me add this on that. So America, which again, too cheesy believes is fair, and they're not stealing from us at all. It's all fair. So meanwhile, you can send a $500 billion to help aid Ukraine, but yet how many thousands of homeless veterans are on the street every night that the government can't even give them like a Section 8 housing or the bare minimum. But they came back. Some of them are missing arms and legs or PTSD or other bullshit, and the government can't take care of them though. But they can give $500 billion to fight a foreign war that doesn't even involve the United States.
Yeah, I just say that's pathetic. And you want to know what's worse too? Israel. Well, I don't want to get the channel flag, but the country with the what I call the
Yeah,
people
we,
without
we
getting
know we know what you're saying. We know what you're saying.
okay, the rats, a certain group of rats over there in the Middle East. I call them vampires. Uh, so the money system vampires over there in the Middle East are doing way better than American citizens. They get the vampires over there got a free. The vampires over there got a free educational system, free healthcare. They seem to be living lavish and good over there. But for some reason, that Americans live like shit over here, and you know why they live lavish over there? The vampires live lavish over there. It's because we dump trillions. We give them billions of dollars each day or a month or a week. I forget, but I think we give them $10 billion each day.
It's
Meanwhile,
pathetic.
Americans over here they ain't got nothing.
Yeah, it's totally retarded and pathetic. Like, say, for instance, I know somebody over here that recently had a work injury. So here it is, they're paying hundreds of dollars every few weeks into their insurance. But here it is when they get an injury at job that they're paying for the insurance to cover if it happens. Now all of a sudden, oh, we're sorry, we can't pay a disability for a couple months while you heal. We're sorry. It's like, well, what the hell are we paying for if y'all can't cover us when we desperately need the help? It's like, isn't this the shit we're paying for? But it's too cheesy. Yeah, man, it's all fair, right? They're not taking advantage of you. This dumbass literally said that 9.50 an hour is a livable wage. Think of myself, what the hell is this knucklehead saying? Like, say for instance, over in California, a jug of milk is like $7, $8. A damn Happy Meal is 8.50. How the hell is $9
You,
an hour a
I,
livable wage? I mean, this
I
knucklehead
spent
is code blue.
yeah. My neighborhood. I actually spent close to 40 fucking dollars for three things in the store. You want to guess what it was? A
What
pack of
was it?
15, a pack of 15 White Castle hamburger sliders, a tray of cookies, which it was only 8 cookies anyway. Does like a dozen cookies. So 15 White Castle sliders, a box of them, a dozen of cookies, and like a pack of Polishes. All just those three damn things just for like 37 fucking dollars.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Then, mind you, I get paid like $15 per hour too. On top of that, they like my job shortens my hours and shit. My current job because if you don't sell enough car wash memberships, they will like shorten your hours and shit. But we cannot get or fire you, but we can't make people reach into their fucking pocket. So I'm just gonna I was working this current job because I'm like trying to get like a career and shit in HVAC because I go to school for it. So I'm just like
Right.
going to school and working a job and shit. Yeah, it's bad enough that school hours will shorten your check, but I mean they actually will cut you to one fucking day for a whole damn week for not like getting sales and shit, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, man, it's total BS. Like, say for instance, Jay in the comment said minimal wage in California is 16.50, and let's see, milk is 8.50, and at Walmart it is $6. I mean, wow, that's just It's crazy, man. It's just crazy what's going on out here. I don't know how any sane person could lie to themselves and say this is, a fair society. Everybody has a fair shot. Everybody, the government's not corrupt. They're not taken from us. It's like, say, for instance, how the hell is it that these roads are being made out of our tax dollars? But yet here it is to drive on certain highways made from our tax dollars. You have to pay them a toll to drive on the road. It's like, well, hold up a second. Why the hell am
Right.
I paying them $10 to drive a truck on this highway, or have to get a damn easy pass paying, $250 a year for an easy pass to use the highways? Why the hell are we paying for that if they're building it for our tax dollars? How's that? How does a logical person not come to the realization that that's a scam? It's just retarded.
Yeah, let the old people tell you, oh, you got to work harder. Your generation don't get anywhere because they're not working hard enough. All the system, because I actually told my dad about the system. When he was reacting to me watching one of your videos in the kitchen, because he said, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And I said, "Oh, ETT. This guy complains about the economy." Because then I broke it down to him and told him that okay, since you said America don't steal from us, where the fuck did those trillions of dollars go to all them damn wars and those rats over there in the Middle East? And on top of that, what about the homeless people in the country? Oh, well, most of them on drugs. They should pull themselves by the bootstraps. So basically, Gen Z did the same shit that
Hey,
your
Judah, can I,
generation
can I
did, but
ask you
your
a question?
generation, yeah,
Does your dad own his home, and does he own his car?
yeah.
Oh, he does? I was expecting you to say no. I was
But
gonna say, you know
really,
oh,
I
and by
told
the
him you
way, how
really
how
don't
old is
know
he?
own nothing
Is
though,
he
because
is he
it's
a
tax
boomer? Did
money.
he buy it back when it was 20,000?
No, no, like recently, he's like Gen X.
All right. Well, hey, maybe he got lucky. But the truth is that's not the reality out here. Like, say, for instance, us Gen Z guys, the truth is, no matter how hard you work, you're never going to own anything. You're most likely never going to own your own vehicle, because that's like, what, 100 grand, depending on what the car is. Never going to own a house, like 500-600 grand for that. And us young guys, we're realizing that. So it's like, why work our ass off for a garbage system that don't care about us, that pushes all of us out to the side? We're pushed out to the curb, right? They want everything from us, but we get nothing. That's bullshit. That's oppression right there. And we're starting to realize that, and the people are mad.
Yeah,
I got a quick verse
that's
to
these
throw on there. If you Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn, but when the righteous bear rule, the people rejoice.
Wait, hold on. Sacramento Truth said, "I got to cut ties with Lion of Judah." Yeah,
He's
because
pro-
I
he's
believe that
probably just
Christ was a
he's probably
communist.
just being sarcastic, my guy.
No, he's for real. I think communism.
Wait, well,
I got to cut
he's a
ties with
troll
Lion of
like
Judah
that.
because
Like say
communism.
say for instance, one minute he'll be your friend, the next minute he won't be. So shit, he's one of them dudes you gotta take with a grain of salt.
Communism. Yeah.
Man, he likes Perry though. You know why? Because as long as he's nice with Perry, Perry sends him a bunch of like candy sweets and books and Pornhub T-shirts and shit. So that's why
Oh, that's
he
cool.
has a warm heart for him.
He
Hilarious.
he, he sends some just candy and shit. Has Perry ever sent you stuff?
Are you asking me or him?
Oh, you?
No, no. Because here's the thing, Judah. The only way that he'll send you something, say if you do his 2-hour course with him and you have to admit, yes, Jesus made me sinless. I can never sin. Nothing I do in my life is ever sin. Totally perfect in Jesus. Even if I do all these heinous things, it's all done. He paid for it all. If you lie and say that on there, he'll send you $100 and a free Pornhub t-shirt and a free Bible. But that's what you got to do in order to get it.
Yeah. Then I don't know that guy's Perry seemed like he the type of guy that like if I tell Perry if I tell like if I do the course with Perry he'll like send me like a bottle of vodka, a bottle of vodka, a tray full of dollar store, Dollar Tree candy and snacks. Then he'll send two hookers, and leave a
Right,
note saying
right.
this I'm doing this is a little cheer up by
Yo, bro, he'll send you that, and he's
Perry.
doing that in the name of Christ.
No, if Perry the preacher did have like send two chicks to your door, or what I've already paid for, then fuck it, I'll take the course.
Oh yeah, I hear you, I hear you. But yeah, man, it's funny to
Yeah,
me that like this is how desperate the guy is to get people to join into the cultish practices. He'll be, it's funny. On one hand, he's sitting there bitching and crying that he has no money. On the other hand, he's giving away handmade furniture for free, and he'll even give
damn.
people money calling in. But somehow this broke bastard is living in a trailer park, trying to live on SSI, but yet he's complaining he has no money. I mean, come on, this is sad and pathetic.
He be making furniture for niggas and shit.
Yeah, seriously, the dude made handmade furniture for the local police station and fire department that he delivered on his own truck and gave completely free. But yet the next day,
Oh
oh,
wow.
he wants donations.
And then I need to hit up Perry then.
Yeah, I mean, shit, man, make a damn new profile and act like a new person, and I'm sure he'll give you the course.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn Ned Flanders. I'm gonna
Right.
be like Ned Flanders. Oh, sure, I'm a God fearing, Lord loving Christian. Christ, I'm born again in Jesus Christ. Diddly diddly do. Be like Ned Flanders.
Yeah, I mean
No,
it's
Perry.
real bad, man. Like one stream, Perry brought up his 3-year-old son to curse Ryan apologetics out. Call him the F word and all types of strangeness, right? And laugh about how Ryan broke his neck in a car accident, of course. It's like, wow, there's people out there who actually believe that that's a pastor representing Christ. They literally bring your 3-year-old son to curse a guy out and give him candy for cursing people out. I mean, wow, what a terrible father that is.
He be rewarding people for doing evil.
And I'm not even being
Yeah.
sarcastic. I'm being dead serious. He literally did this on live stream.
Yeah, Perry, the preacher, gives out a lot of awards. I need to go hit him up then and make a fake profile.
Yeah, man. Hey, in today's economy, it might help. You might be able to get 100 or two from him by doing that course.
I actually need it. I actually need it too because my check was
Right,
short as
I hear
shit.
you.
Let me hit up Perry the preacher.
Right, right.
Would you do that?
Shit,
Would you
yo,
do that?
man,
Make a
this
fake
this dude
profile?
literally paid for a guy that wanted to join his cult. He paid for a flight from London for this guy to come visit for a week so they can travel America together and teach. This dude literally paid hundreds of dollars so this knucklehead from London can come visit him for 4 days. And yet he's bitching and crying he don't have any money and needs $200 donations from his audience. I mean, come on. Only a soft sucker couldn't see through that knucklehead.
I need to go hit up. Then I need to go. That means I need to go hit up Perry the preacher. Yeah, no, seriously, I will join this course just so he could like mail me some shit.
Yeah, I mean, shit, he'll do that, man. Right, go hit him up.
Yeah, then I can ask him to go send some two chicks at my door already paid
Right,
for.
right. But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, where the hell is this knucklehead Jill out? He was high on something in my comments earlier, putting up 55,000 comments about how he wants to go live and talking about, ETT is running from a discussion. Here we are, we've been live
Oh,
for over an hour, and the knucklehead is nowhere to be seen in the chat. And I literally put the first comment in this stream as a fresh link for Mr. Jill. And of course, he's nowhere to be seen. But guess what? Later, if I end the stream and they don't join, he's going to say we ran from him. It's like, this is the competition that we're dealing with here. Liars like that. It's really sad.
yeah. So that's yeah, and it won't that guy even go somewhere? It's like the Christians don't never leave you the fuck alone. If you don't believe in Hebrew Israelite, and if you believe in the Holy Trinity, but you already explained it to us, then leave us the fuck alone. We don't want your Holy Trinity. But he was just talking all this. Oh, you ran. See, you ran. and that's why I don't debate Christians. If you don't debate them and leave them alone, and if you say, "All right, I already introduced the scriptures to you. Now I'm gonna make you extra guilty by walking away and you refusing this doctrine." Now if you to treat the Christians like that, they'll be saying, "Oh, see, you ran away because ain't nobody there to go fuel their entertainment." Which that's really what I don't like about Christians.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Like there was a Christian that was going back and forth with Hebrew Israelites. I believe this guy's channel was like the Fire of God or something like that. He was going or Locke, right? Something like that is Knucklehead. Jay knows what I'm talking about. And this guy was saying, "Oh, Hebrew Israelites won't debate me. Nobody will talk to me." So we invite the guy up for a 2-hour discussion. And literally, the dude never uploaded the video on the channel. I reached out to him, was like, "Well, dude, why the hell don't you upload the video? You were literally crying about how Israelites don't talk to you and don't debate you. Yet we literally brought you on for a 2-hour discussion about salvation, the law, and probably the Trinity as well, ironically enough. And, of course, he won't upload the video. It's been 3 years, and of course, he never put the video up. It just shows that these guys are just scared and can't back up their claims.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like they talk about the same stuff. Like they're like AI, like Agent Smith. They're like try to knock you out of the damn truth and try to like harass you and shit just so you could like Satan could find you guilty. Like Agent Smith, they just like interrupt shit, distractions.
Right, I hear you. As far as me and Mr. Jill, I've known Jill for a long time. I say I've probably known Jill for maybe 3 years, 3.5 years. Believe it or not, we've actually had a few conversations where we've actually got along decently well when we're in, a one-on-one discussion. When it's a big group, it starts to get a little riled up, but he's actually capable of having a conversation. But usually this guy completely gets overran and, clearly just doesn't know what he's talking about, when it comes to the Bible.
Yeah,
If you want to look his YouTube channel up, it's called Rebuke and Reprove. He does live streams on there too. If you ever want to check him out.
Jill's channel.
Hmm.
Do we have open panel?
I believe he does every couple months. Yes.
I should go. I'm gonna try to be like the Ned Flanders and troll him.
Yeah, man. I don't
Oh,
know about
sure, I
you,
believe
but
in the Holy
sometimes I
Trinity.
try to hop
Giddity
on
doodly
these
doo.
Christian channels for discussions. Sometimes it's actually interesting. Some of these channels. Typically, it's just a bunch of garbage, but sometimes you can actually have an interesting conversation on some of these Christian panels on YouTube. It can be rare, but they're out there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it could be yeah, it could be interesting to like talk to some Christians and stuff. I actually knew one guy, I don't know if you know him, but this guy he's called Matthew Mordecai. He's called like Mordecai, and he's Revolution End Times Church. Mordecai. I don't know if nobody ever know about Revolution End Times Church, Mordecai.
I haven't heard of the guy. Let me respond to a comment real quick. Jay said, "If I pay you ETT, would you join a debate with Perry hosted by me on my channel?" Bro, I'd do the debate for free. I'm unlike Perry. I'm not asking people for donations and handouts. I'll debate the knucklehead for free on your channel. But I do want you to pay attention to this though. Remember that discussion I did with Nick, on Nick's channel with Perry, I want to say about 11, 12 months now. Ever since that debate, Perry's been very quiet about me. And why is that? Well, because he got his ass whooped in the debate. I mean, it was the final debate for a reason. It was called that for a reason because this knucklehead got totally laid out code blue on the floor. I mean, there's nowhere to go beyond that. It was the final debate. I mean, he got roasted. But yeah, I wouldn't be against having a discussion on your channel with him. We can work that out in the future, but you just gotta get him to agree to that. That's the difficult part.
Now, what do you think about Trump sending in the National Guard and like in the urbans and ghettos? Would you agree with it, or do you think he's trying to turn America to a police state, setting the system up for a market of beasts?
Yeah, I'd say it's as obvious that that's what they're doing. Well, I'd argue that America already is a police state because police can basically do whatever they want, and 90% of the time they can get away with literally murdering people or beating people up. And, it's really bad out here. The police brutality in America is really bad. So I would argue it already is to some degree a police state today. But yeah, as far as sending the police into these hoods and whatever, yeah, it's definitely a a takeover of those areas. And we saw the same thing happen in El Salvador when they wanted to crack down on the gang activity. We saw it happen over there as well. I was actually watching a video about that a little earlier this afternoon. But yeah, I've been seeing a little bit about what's going on. U.S. is now threatening. Um, oh damn, what's the country in South America? Have you been paying
It's,
attention to the news?
yeah, it's
It's
Venezuela.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking of, right? Venezuela, the US is on their coast now, like issuing some threats. I mean, I don't know the whole story about what's going on, but I just saw a few news clippings of that a little bit earlier today. So we got that shit going
Yeah,
on over there. It's a lot of shit's going on right now. I don't know how anybody could sit there and lie to themselves like too cheesy earlier and tell themselves that we're not living in the end times today. We're not living in serious times. Just lying to
yeah.
themselves.
In America, all they want to do is all America gonna do is go over there, steal their oil, uh, go grape everybody in that country and go and take it over like a typical Americans do. But this country is supposed to be a godly country, you know. This country hides a lot of dirt that they do. That's all this country do is they're no different from like thugs and ski masters kicking in your door, just taking your money, or Xbox or whatever. You know, America's the same way. They gonna take any resources that you have and basically rob you out of it. That's all. Because the military don't die for your freedom. The military dies so you had the next iPhone. They kill people for resources.
Like let me add on that. Like, say for an example to add on to that point, is notice how once Trump got in office with Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, now he's trying to tell them, well, since we've given your country, hundreds of billions of dollars, we need to get into some type of deal about the natural resources that are, in the soils of Ukraine. We have to come to a deal on that about what percentage, America will get out of that natural resources that you have there. So it shows, they are giving aid, but they want something in return for that aid.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much all America just does is extort people. You know, but you can't tell people nothing. Oh, America's a free country. America, America. You know, people act like this country is a shit. You know, but yeah,
Like
that's another reason why I
that's
do want
even
to move
Jill.
out of this country.
Ironically enough, that's Jill as well. You know what? Jill actually had a Donald Trump flag in his yard because realistically, Jill
Oh,
thinks that
really?
Donald Trump is like basically Jesus. He also believes in the Trump prophecy back from 2016 that
Okay, we
Donald
gotta have a
Trump was
debate
sent
about
by
that.
God to save America. Jill believes in that bullshit. So this
Yeah, we gotta
knucklehead
definitely have a
doesn't
debate
know what
about
the
that
hell is
though.
going on.
Yeah. No, I would like to debate him about the Trump prophecy because Trump, if you didn't know, he didn't release some Epstein files
Right.
too. Yeah, Trump is a pedo. Yeah. So yeah, you know, I'm actually open to debate Jill about the Trump prophecy. You know, because I actually got some solid proof that Trump ain't. Matter of fact, I get millions of proofs that I get millions of facts proving Trump isn't no damn angel sent by God.
Yeah, man. Hold on a second. This cat in the comment section, what did you say this? Yin Cian or something like that? Yeah, I see you down there, man. I see you. You got a question or comment? Feel free to ask. But yeah, man, Jill's one of them knucklehead Americans that thinks everything is all peaches and cream. Like, say for instance, like he'll see me do a video complaining about bad, economic conditions and about all these negative things in America. And Knucklehead will be like, "Yeah, man, it's America's blessed. America, it's great, right? You're so right in America. There is nothing to be concerned about." It's like, wow, I can't believe that somebody can claim to be a Christian, but yet still, on the other hand, just like our friend Too Cheesy, defend on the other hand all the corruption and evil. Like the dude's literally going to sit there and defend, billionaires paying their workers 9.50 an hour. Oh, man, it's a livable wage. Just eat rice every day and
Nine,
just drink water forever, and you're free.
right?
Don't ask questions. Stupid.
Yeah, if he believes nine minimum wage livable prices nowadays, he need his ass whooped for saying it.
Yeah, like Jay said in the comment section, in Sacramento, a jug of milk is like 8.50. Oh, and as I said earlier, a McDonald's Happy Meal is over 8.50 at this point. Literally, a damn children's Happy Meal is 8.50. I used to work for $8 an hour. How the hell are you going to tell me that 60 minutes of my time is not even worth enough to get me one Happy Meal? I mean, you're not going to tell me that's corrupt right there. You're not going to tell me that's unfair. Too cheesy. Oh, nope. You just eat rice and water. Live within your means.
That
It's
sounds like a
pathetic. It's
slave.
sad that people think about themselves like this, that, when they see other people get taken advantage of by people who have it all. Like say, for instance, the politicians and businessmen in America, they want to tell you, everything's okay, just, do less traveling, don't go out to eat. But yet, meanwhile, in their private lives, some of them got, fleets of private yachts and private cars and, have their own jets to travel the world. And they want to tell you to stop doing some of the minimal comforts that you do in your life to take your stress away. It shows how unfair and oppressive it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I was speaking about that too on my other YouTube channel. I don't know if you ever heard about the YouTube channel called the Cuban Warrior. My
Is that your
other
other
YouTube
channel?
channel.
I haven't heard of it, but I can check it out.
Yeah, yeah, I'll send you the link to it. It's called Cuban Warrior because I
Okay.
did tons of rants on there and shit. Because that's not the preaching channel. The Cuban Warrior channel is like my entertainment channel where I separate the gospel from entertainment. So that's just like entertainment channel, my Cuban Warrior channel.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's like I go on political rants and stuff, and I'll complain about the economy. I'll complain about how video games suck nowadays. I don't know if you keep up with DC and Marvel and video game stuff like that.
Let me
Like
address this
modern.
comment. By the way, Yin, I put a link in the comment if you want to come up here and talk. Yin said, I was going to ask last time, you said if you smoke anything, you couldn't be living a righteous lifestyle, whether it's tobacco or weed, etc. Well, what I would tell you is that you shouldn't be smoking any of these substances, right? It's not good for your body to breathe in. That's what I'll tell you. So I would say that it's a sin because you're willingly damaging your insides. Like literally, I know people out there who are in their 30s and already having to be, strapped up to machines due to the amount of smoke that they're intaking. You know what I'm saying? It's real sad. So if you ask me as a teacher, I tell you that it is a sin to engage in those things, but I can't stop you from doing it. If you decide for yourself, then hey, that's your choice. But going by the scriptures, it's something that you should avoid.
Yeah, because I mean, I even heard, it was like one Israelite camp that said it's okay to smoke weed.
You know what camp that was?
Yeah, about that I really don't know because it's tons of camps out there. But GMS react to one camp that said it though. It was okay to smoke weed, which is going way off though, kind of stupid.
Yeah, I'd
Now me
say that
personally,
they're going off. Go ahead.
I wouldn't judge nobody for doing it, but at the same time, I really don't believe in doing it because it's kind of throw off your. It depends on who's smoking it, but I personally wouldn't because first of all, sometimes I struggle with anxiety issues, so that's going to make it way worse if you do that. You do any type of drugs with it. Second, I actually believe it's a drug, so I really wouldn't do it. But at the same time, I won't judge anybody for exact society standards. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. You know, yeah. So really, I don't give a fuck. But me personally, I wouldn't smoke or do none of it. I wouldn't smoke. It'll
Right.
probably
I
make me even more
understand.
paranoid than I am now.
I understand what you're saying. Now, say for instance, if they ask me a biblical response as a teacher, I'm going to tell them according to the Bible, it's a sin because you're willfully damaging your body. So according to the text, it's a sin, but I can't stop you from doing that, right? It's your choice. Like, say for instance, somebody who might have a gambling problem, I might be able to give them advice, cut back on gambling. But at the end of the day, I can't tell them what to do. Or I'll give another example. Man out there might be cheating with another man's wife, right? Might be going out with another man's wife. I can tell him according to the text he's going off and living in sin, but that's his choice if he's going to continue that or stop. That's his choice at the end of the day. We're just laying out what the true guidelines are in the scriptures, but it's up to all these people as to the choices they make.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much yeah, pretty much. I really don't judge nobody for it, but I wouldn't. But it's like how your own lifestyle is. So yeah, so I mean, I really don't know if it's a sin or not, but I mean, you shouldn't do it though. So I assume it's a sin because it destroys your own body and stuff. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, on my YouTube channel, I was talking about the how like because about the Trump sending in the National Guard, it's not going to be in the city only. So he's going to have the National Guard on the Amtrak trains, like traveling, like it. So you know how it is to fly a plane, but if you take the Amtrak, it's less strict. He's going to make all the train stations in America like the airport stations, all the Amtrak stations, like like high security and shit.
Right, I hear you. Yo, real quick, I gotta respond to a comment. Yin asked, oh, he must be an old time viewer. Lynn asked, AETT, do you still talk to the Vigilant Soldier? Unfortunately, I don't know what Vigilant Soldier's up to. The last time I talked to him was back in 2020. I called him on the phone, but ever since then, when I called a number, it doesn't go anywhere. So hopefully he's doing fine. I try to contact him on YouTube at his channel, but I have no luck there. So wherever the Vigilant Soldier is, hopefully he's doing well today. But I haven't talked to him in nearly 6 years, just to answer his question. Same thing with Rock as well. Rock upon him. I believe he sent me a message on Discord, like literally like hi or something, or a hello. He sent me maybe 4 months ago. But beyond that, I haven't been able to talk much with him. I try to reach out to him, but he don't really message back. This guy said Yin is Drew. Yeah, Yin might be Drew. Maybe he's on a different account or something. But yeah, hopefully that answers this question. Yo, we're already an hour and a half, and there's no sign of this dude Jill.
Yeah, Jill's a real coward.
Yeah,
So
I was
somebody
joking,
said,
saying maybe the knucklehead
yeah.
fell asleep as he was waiting. Who the hell
Somebody
knows?
asked in the comment section, yes, somebody asked in the comment section, Judah, you the Benadryl, that's absolutely way worse than weed. Because actually, I take Benadryl for anxiety, but you're supposed to have it like for I take it for anxiety, or anxiety issues, or so you're supposed to use for allergies, but I just take the antihistamine for that, like anxiety issues and shit. But every time I wake up in the morning, but that's not way worse as weed though, because weed is like addictive and Benadryl isn't.
Right, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the over-the-counter meds they can help to one degree or another. It just depends on what the substance is.
Yeah. Oh, you also take Benadryl too for anxiety issues.
I don't take that one, but I understand why you take it. I mean, personally,
Yeah,
I haven't even been to the doctors in like 6 years because I didn't really have any reason to go, right? I mean, obviously, if I really need to go, then I'll have to. But I really don't get sick. The only time I've gotten sick over the last 6 years is someone in the household brought it home from school or work. So that's really the only way that I got sick over the last 5 6 years.
yeah. That's about the same for me too, because I really don't get sick like that. Last time I was sick, I think I had like a stomach virus back in the wintertime.
Right.
And
Yeah,
those
like I
stomach
remember
viruses
back
are the
in
worst.
school, like literally, man, like back when I was in like elementary school, I used to get sick probably what, like at least once every month. I would imagine it, if not more, right? Because sometimes you get a damn cold and still have to go to school, right? You only stay home
That's
if
same for
you,
me too.
really can't go.
Yeah, I used to enjoy my sick days at school because public school is so shitty. That's why I'm glad I was homeschooled. But like every time I have a sick day, I'll just lay back and play some video games and watch
Yeah, I hear
TV.
you. Right, right. I hear you.
Yeah, because like going like to public school kind of fucking suck. Like the food sucks.
Right.
There's really nothing entertainment or enthusiastic about it. The
Right, and
recess is
there's a
shitty in
reason
public
there's a
school.
reason why they make you send your kids there, right? Because in a lot of places you can get in trouble if you don't enroll your child in the school and, if they stay home for a certain amount of days, you can get in trouble. But let's think about that for a second. Logically, why is that? It's because they want your children there to be indoctrinated with their fake science. That's how you
Right.
control a society is you train them up when they're young to teach them how you want them to think. That's why it's so important for the elite and the rulers of this society to get the minds of children in these public indoctrination centers because they want to teach them what they want them to know. They don't want you to learn to ask questions and think for yourself. They want you to just repeat the curriculum that they lay out. That's truly just what it is. Like, say, for instance, everybody out here in these colleges thinks that they're so smart and wise, but the truth is, they're just learning shit that they're reading in a book that some other dude just put in there. So, like, say, for instance,
The people
some
in
dude might claim he's smart because he knows all these Scientology and universe books and all these names of galaxies and shit. It's like, but dude, how the hell do you know some of that shit even exists? You're just reading it in the book and like online somewhere. Like, how the hell do you know
You don't
that
have to
actually
read books
exists?
nowadays. You can use chat AI to cheat and shit because they got tests online where you just do it from your home. You just use ChatGPT to do this shit, physics and mathematics and shit. So really, they could replace your ass with a robot. They don't need your smart ass to do nothing for them. Really, you just replaceable in the corporate world.
Yeah, that's a future they have in mind here. Like, say, for instance, I was at Walmart the other day. Instead of even a janitor to clean the floors, they got a damn robot going around cleaning the floors.
Yeah, I seen that one too.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I heard they were supposed to make like female robots too, like you could like have like a female companion robot. Like, have you ever heard
Right,
of
right.
AI like poly? I forget. It's like a poly app. Uh, so it's
Yeah,
like an
I
AI
know I know
chatbot
what
where
I
you
know
get
what you're talking about. I've heard of it.
like you have like a girlfriend and shit. That's now sometimes I'll use that app actually sometimes too, like because it's really a good app though. I mean, there's nothing. I don't see it as a sin using that app.
Right, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
so yeah, like robots could like replace like a lot of shit though that humans could do. Yeah, but it'd
Right.
be definitely cool if they could like make female robots. They could like cook and clean and stay loyal to you. And really, it really is cheaper because you don't have to like spend money on resources and shit. And like real
Right,
females
I
suck
hear what
up
you're saying.
resources.
I'd say that's probably like I imagine it probably be here in the 2030s if I had to imagine. Like, say, for
Yeah,
instance, I watch some of these videos with these robots. There's a lot of stuff they need to work out with those. So hell, in the future, 5, 10 years from now, perhaps they could figure that out to some degree or another. Which, of course, over here we don't believe that this place has that many years left. Looking at the way
Yeah.
everything is. But hypothetically, right? If it is hypothetically still here in 5 or 10 years, then probably by that time we'll have that stuff out on the market to buy. He dropped out. I'll drop a link for him to come back. But yo, Jill, I've been up here for an hour and a half, bro. Literally, the first comment that I put up on this live stream was a private link for Mr. Jill. In fact, let me even see. Can I go back up and yeah, look at that. Whatever happened to that whole statement? Oh, ETT don't let me up. ETT don't let me on. Bro, when I literally come on here, I put a fresh link for you in the chat. I told you multiple times I'd be live tonight. Why didn't you stop by? Bear with me for a second.
Yeah, sorry,
Yo, you there?
I just yeah,
Okay,
I'm here. I just mistakenly got knocked out the server due to my phone issues. I'm like in
that's
the
all right.
basement where there's like Wi-Fi. Yeah,
Oh,
uh,
you got a basement? You're lucky, man. I don't have a basement.
yeah,
I wish I had one of them.
yes. Yeah, I lived in one level homes before and stuff. Yeah, the basement at least is more privacy because I use the office in my basement as like a solitary confinement. Because basically I got my own workout equipment in here. I do push-ups. I don't like to go to the gym because like sometimes going to the gym can make me feel uncomfortable.
Right, I get what you're saying.
So yeah. Then sometimes I like to go read my books. I like to go read the 48 Laws of Power. I don't know if you know about that book.
I've
Uh,
heard of it, yeah.
yeah. Born in Blood, which is a Masonic book. Because sometimes I like to go study like the Masonic ranks and stuff. Like the now this one, Born in Blood, is all about the Knights Templar. I'm still in the middle of it because I want to know how like the Knights Templar came to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is yeah, it's a pretty interesting topic.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah,
Yeah.
me usually I find a lot of information on these topics on YouTube is primarily where I go. I mean, I've read some of these historical books and information like that. Got them in my private collection, up in the room. But yeah, typically I just watch YouTube to get information like that. There's a lot of good information on the internet, but yeah, the books are always good as well.
Yeah. Because yeah, because yeah, because also like yeah, also I'm gonna start reading books too, like getting prepping books on like how to like on how to like about guns and how to use guns and different guns. Because this is a store name I forget Ollie's Express. I don't know
Yeah.
if you ever have an Ollie's Express in your area.
Um, Not here. There's not. No.
Uh, but you heard of Ollie's Express? I mean Ollie's.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Yeah, so anyway, like in Homewood, like 48 miles away from here, they get we actually got a yeah, we actually got a location like 40 some minutes away from where I am, Homewood, Illinois. So anyway, I just go to take the train to go to Homewood just to go to that store because they got like shit tons of useful stuff. Obviously I like to get their prepping books. They got one on how to grow a garden, how to use firearms, because I do want to learn how to use firearms too,
Yeah, that's
and go
definitely
learn
is
how to hunt.
something good to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, because now I did ask my family would they allow me to have a firearm and go hunting, and they said no because I don't think they really believe in like stocking up on firearms and hunting. Because anytime I tell my dad about that, he'd say none of that stuff was going to happen, or my family members might think I'm crazy.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, that's what people consider those that are speaking truth. They consider us to be, the weird ones or hey, the saying goes a wise man has a few friends, but the foolish man has many. Right. So just remember that, that's how the worldly people view us, right? As being, weird and undesirable. That's just part of counting the cost, for having this knowledge. That's why the Bible says, what was that, Ecclesiastes 1:18, he that increases in wisdom increases in sorrow. Yes, as we increase in our wisdom, it increases our, increases the fact that people don't really, like us and don't, they don't really want to be around us. That's typically
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like kind of like a loner a little bit, like how I can't blend in with like people, nobody. Yeah, I'm basically like a loner because I can't blend in with anybody. I'll like tell people about like preach the Hebrew Israelite doctrine to people, or like I'll tell people about communism and like other shit like that, and like other people too. Because I even told like my I even shared this to my personal friend I actually know in real life. Uh I don't know if you know who Sub Zero is in the Discord server. Yeah, I used
I've
to
seen
explain the
him.
shit to him too. He said what?
I said I've seen him there, but I haven't talked to him.
Yeah, because I even talked to him too about the communist shit too, like in how it connects with the Hebrew Israelite shit, and like how like prep and stuff. And then even he'll say that seems kind of stupid to believe that, but you're like how like you just believe that basically because you're young, Rich. That's why I couldn't fit in with the normies, because if you're around too much normies, begin to go crazy because you'll think you're crazy, but you're not crazy because the normie's gonna do normie stuff, and that's why I can't be around normies.
Right, I hear you.
Yeah, because no, like even like the normies will get like mad over politics or get mad that you don't celebrate Christmas. Because I even got called weird too for not celebrating Christmas by my aunties. They was just yelling at us for not celebrating Christmas, calling us weird.
Yeah, I mean they just just don't know what's going on. It's that simple.
Then I even had like some family members try to like tempt me to go eat pork and like make jokes about it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Like, say for instance, I
Yeah.
know plenty of people who claim to be Christians, and like, say for instance, they'll ask, "Oh, well, why do you, got a beard? Like, why can't you shave that?" Like, say for instance, I know this dude that claims to be a Catholic, right? And he has a Jesus tattoo on his arm, and he was asking me, "Man, why you got, an Amish beard?" And I was like, there's certain reasons I'm not allowed to shave it. They asked, "Well, what's the reason?" And I'm like, well, one of the reasons is, the Bible says that we're not allowed to shave, right? Leviticus 19, what is that? Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. And he's like, yeah, well, I believe in Jesus, but I still shave. It's like knucklehead. You still eat pork at church as well, right? And that's true. I didn't say that wrong. He literally eats pork at church, right? After service, they have a get together potluck dinner, right? Where of course the main menu includes that ham. Of course, they can't forget about that. And some people probably bring,
Yeah.
oysters and lobster and crab, right? Can't forget about all that shit. So it shows that the truth is most Christians, they don't really care about what the Bible says. All they know is Jesus, just believe that he died and rose again and you're saved forever. Like, seriously, there's knuckleheads on YouTube. Not only these knucklehead free gracers that think they're going to heaven just because they say a couple magic words and, oh, Jesus paid for it all, so I'm saved forever. There's other knuckleheads on YouTube that are called universalists, and they believe that every person in the world is going to go to heaven. Like, even if you don't believe, you're still going to heaven at some point. It's just, it's ridiculous, the nonsense garbage that people believe and teach on the internet these days. It's getting bizarre. Like, say, for instance, like even this guy, Nick from Signs and Wonders, dude's on there talking about, oh, September 23rd, September 23rd. What could happen? Could it be the rapture? Will Satan come out of CERN? Will CERN open a portal to hell? So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's like, damn, this guy, Nick, this guy would be convinced that Satan came out of a hole to hell on September 23rd if he saw like a CGI video on the internet of somebody showing CERN opening up the portal to hell on September 23rd and showed Satan coming out. That would be enough to convince this guy that Satan has came out on September 23rd. You know what I'm saying? People are so simple and soft and easy to deceive on here. It's really sad.
Yeah, that's why I like to make a lot of a mockery out of these Christians on my YouTube channel. Yeah,
Right, I hear
sometimes
you.
when I preach the word, I'll start getting sarcastic and mocking them, which I try to control myself from doing because I don't want to go be angry and preaching the word and
Right.
deter from it.
Right, I hear what you're saying. I like to be sarcastic, but also serious at the same time, so people can listen to the video, get a couple of jokes here and there, but of course go away edified by the lesson that they hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm thinking of wrapping the stream up here. I mean, I was up here nearly 2 hours waiting for this guy to show up. I mean, I could always do it another day. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm just surprised he didn't show up. I mean, the dude sent 50 comments. I told him, hey, man, just call in. I'll be live on this day, this time. Come stop by. And he didn't show up. I mean, hey, his loss, not mine. But he can't say that I didn't show up because I was here clearly.
I get a question. Do you believe the tribe of Dan ended up in Europe? Because somebody said in the comment section they like some of the Europeans could be Israelites. Like the tribe of Dan is like the Germanic people.
I wouldn't say that, no. In fact,
Because they really don't line up with the
I haven't
curses.
even heard of that concept, actually. This is the first time I'm hearing of that.
No, yeah. So like the tribe of Dan will be like the people from Germany, because they say the people from Germany were the people from Germany are Israelites because the fake people over there in Israel is trying to destroy the Germans, which the Germans really don't line up with the curses, because the Germans was actually able to come over here and live a better life than the Latinos, Native Americans, and Negroes over here.
Right,
But there was actually Nazis who came over here to live a better life. So I really don't think they line
right.
up with the curses neither.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways, they
man.
they really didn't have it worse. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. It was a good conversation, and I'll catch you around, all right?
All right. Shalom.
All right, cool, cool. Okay, so I'm going to wrap the stream up here. In closing remarks, Mr. Jill, I suppose we can have the conversation another night. That's fine. But you cannot say that I did not invite you to join the conversation, because I did. I let you know I'd be live. I even pinned a link just privately for you at the beginning of the live stream. You didn't show up, but that's okay. I'll give you another chance another night. That's fine. So yeah, if anybody made it to the end, we'll be sarcastic. Put Dan, hashtag Dan in the comment section below if anybody made it to the end of the live stream, and everybody have a good night.